Hey guys, TippyHolo1 here, welcome back to another video, and today we are here with layout update number 4, where, as you can see in front of me, we have a literally large update. So I've been talking about putting shelves on my layout for quite a while now, and here we go, finally got around to doing it. And they actually look pretty good. Obviously they're not perfect, but, you know, is anything ever really perfect? There's, you know, some of the screws could be better and they're not fully recessed in and you can see them all on this side, but other than that I think it actually looks really good. And the fact that one of the shelves is sloped. I think this shelf is like on a very steep angle, but whatever, keeps the trains on, and that's all it's supposed to do. But there were a couple updates to the top of the platform, but I'll get into that after I go through this thing. So the shelves are basically, they're made out of like three things. They're made out of 3/4 inch plywood as the backing, and they're made out of 1x4 pine for the shelves and the border, and 2-inch wood screws. So, yeah, the pine is what makes up the border and all the shelves, and I actually cut the corners on 45s. As you can tell by the fact that they're not perfectly matched up, you know, oh well. But I cut the grooves in the shelves using a table saw, and I just set the backing so that when you ran each side across, it distanced the grooves far enough for the flanges to fit in. That way I could get away with not actually having to put track on it, because if I did put track on it, I'd only be able to have 4 shelves in the middle here. As you can see, I have 5 currently. If I actually had to put like 027 tubular track, I can never say that word, on this, I wouldn't be able to have all 5. But because I have these 5, I have a grand total of 90 feet of storage space, because I have 6 shelves on this 7-foot segment, and I have 6 shelves on the 8-foot segment on the other side, which is a lot of storage space. As you can see, it looks like most of it's filled, but right now there's nothing on the platform, so the second stuff goes on the platform, I'm going to have a lot of open space. Mainly these 3 shelves here, because the GP7, the Atlantic Coastline, goes in the yard area. Polar Express pulls all the Polar Express cars on the outer loop, and the Reading T1 pulls the freight cars on the inner loop. So, yeah, lots of empty space, but you know, more room for trains. I also bothered to felt the edges, because, you know, why not? It's not supposed to be a road, it's just supposed to look somewhat decent. I could have done scenery on it, like I could have brought the grass all the way out, but that would have added a lot more work, and honestly I like the more refined look of the felt, as opposed to just having the scenery come right up to the edge, which is, you know, what it is on the other side of the platform, but whatever. I really like this. Also, I can like rest things on here now, so like I can put the cab 1, the TMCC controller, I can just kind of sit that on here, or I can sit my phone on here while I'm running trains, and I can sit on the stool rather than having to fiddle around with all that. So yeah, it's really nice, and I'm quite happy with it. As you can see, you can still see all the staples and whatnot that I put in, but you know, it's whatever. I'm not going to like go over with black acrylic paint and paint them all. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to, because it would ruin the felt, and that's a lot of work. But anyway, let's go to the top of the platform, where there have been like maybe 4 or 5 changes, maybe. So here we are on the top of the layout, and as you can see, the first thing that probably smacks you in the face is this bright white crossing gate here. I got this from my uncle, as I did with the streetlights and some other stuff at the school that I'll show you later, and some stuff at the station, which I'll show you later, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't know if I'm going to use or not, but I'll see if I can find places for it. But anyway, I love the streetlights. Like, they look like they're Main Street style streetlights, I think, and they actually look really good. The crossing gate, I'm probably going to have to paint a little bit to make it look a little bit less toyish. I still need another one for that side, and I'm debating whether or not I'm actually going to hook up like a tortoise machine to it to actually have it go up and down. Tortoises are usually used on switches to give it like a nice realistic slow motion, rather than you flip a switch, press it, and it goes thunk in the other direction. It's all the way over. It makes it look more realistic. It's what we use at the club at my school. But anyway, I'm fine with the switches being the way they are right now. But I could use them for the crossing gates, and I could have the little button on the side that I used before to open and close the gates, which would be pretty cool. So we'll see if that happens. But anyway, I'm going to go over to the school, because there's more of these streetlights, and I can get a closer look at them. And there's one other thing behind the school that I think is absolutely adorable, that I'm not sure if it's realistic at all, but I put it there because it looks cool. Found another use for my shelves. I can freehand my phone a little bit better to get video. Anyway, here we are at the back of the school. As you can see, we have this wonderful little thing here. This is the thing that I think is absolutely adorable. This is a plastic fill thing, as are the streetlights and the crossing gate. And apparently these are only sold with one bird on it, but my uncle put 2 birds on it, and I think it looks adorable, so it's going here. I don't know if it's realistic, but it's doing that, and it's stank. And then here are the streetlights. They're not illuminated, and in fact they're so good that my camera won't focus. There we go. They're not illuminated, but you know, it's whatever. I'm probably going to cut off the large circular base and instead just drill them into the platform or something, because the large base looks a little bit unrealistic. As with the flagpole, I might do the same thing. But there you go. I could probably get micro LEDs in there if I really wanted to, but that would be quite difficult and a lot of time and a lot of effort that I don't have because I'm going back to college soon. But anyway, so there's the back of the school. So there's really one other thing or 2 other things that have been added that are over at the station, which I will go get to now. Yar har har, you fools for believing me that I was actually telling the truth in a video that was definitely planned. There's another thing that changed. It's over by the lake. Anyway, so here's the station, and here's the 2 things that are changed. There's these benches here, and there's this thing, which I think is for baggage. But this is made of metal, and it's actually really cool. It's actually quite heavy, too. And then there's these benches. Now, I have no idea if these are actually O-scale. My uncle does S-gauge, which is close to O-scale. It's halfway between HO and O, or it's roughly halfway between HO and O. It's the middle ground there. So if you're ever wondering what S-gauge is, there you go. If you're a model railroad enthusiast, you probably already know that. If you're not, there you go. There's something new. Anyway, these I'm probably not going to end up painting because they actually look really good. And as you can see, there's still no platform here. I'm working on that. Maybe I'll have that done before I go back to school. But this is really like the last thing that needs to get done on the layout before it's quote-unquote complete. And I inevitably come back from college and go, oh wait, I can do this and this and this and this and this, and end up ripping the entire platform apart again. But you know, I'll get to that when I get there. Anyway, so that's it for the station. So I'm going to go over to the lake and show you the other, I guess, 3 changes that happened over at the lake. So I lied again. Here's the other thing that actually needs to get done other than the station. I need to do all the scenery around here. But here's the new thing. There's water, a knockoff Jaws, and a fisherman dude that's about to get eaten by said knockoff Jaws. Anyway, so yeah, water. Water's here now. This is actually, I say this is knockoff Jaws. Wow, he was actually stuck to that. Yep, this is definitely not the first take I've done of this. Anyway, this is a tiger shark. Jaws was a great white. He was actually an animatronic great white. There's dust all over this guy too. I don't think there was dust over Jaws. Anyway, but yeah, so Bill. I'm naming him Bill. But yeah, so I did the water with the Woodland Scenics Realistic water, and it actually doesn't look too bad. It spilled over a little bit here, but, you know, I can fix that at a later date. And, again, like I said, I just need to do all of that work. But other than that, it's actually looking rather nice. There's obviously ripples everywhere, which isn't bad. It makes it look realistic because I use paper, and paper tends to bunch up when it gets wet. Fun fact. Anybody past kindergarten knows that, that I totally forgot about. But anyway, so it's not perfect. The dock isn't secured yet, but you know, I like it, so it's gonna stay like this for right now. So I'm gonna do my first shout out in a YouTube video, and it goes to Rail Ramsey, who in my Lionel collection video commented that he wanted to see the GG1 run in its own video. And I want to thank him for that, because he gave me the idea of doing a series that is just running shots of each of my trains. So it's going to be individual videos of each train that I have running, and because he was the one that commented, he gets to be the first train to go up, which is going to be the GG1 pulling the Pullmans in its own video, like he said. But anyway, if you guys have any trains that you want to see go up in any amount of haste, which... no guarantees on that, but if I remember to read the comments and you guys post in either this video or the Lionel collection video, I will make sure that that is the next video to go up, and if there's more than one comment, I'll start making a list. But anyway, So this is going to be one of the trains that's running today when I do all the running shots, because everything's on shelves and it's easier to get to. So let's get straight to that. So there you have it. That is my layout update number 4. Obviously, this is a huge milestone towards getting the layout to the finished appearance that I want. Finished being that this layout is eventually going to need to get moved out of my basement, because the basement's going to need to get finished, and I will eventually be moving out, ideally. But anyway, I really like it. I think it's cool, and it definitely helps me swap trains, because having to dig through the bottom of the layout to get out any one of these trains was a huge pain in the butt, and this makes it so much easier, and I will definitely be running more trains more often. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I hope you all enjoyed. So anyway, I am CW Hollow 1, and have a good day, or maybe good night in your case. See ya.